In our country, cricket is very common. India, Pakistan, many countries, UK, Australia, New Zealand. I'm not a big fan of cricket. Today I'll tell you why. So what happened was, as I mentioned before, I was homeschooled or not schooled at all till the 10th grade, and that is when the books, at ninth grade, then the books were started, and then the help was started. My grandmother had taught me how to read and write, and that is about it. So in ninth grade, I went to school formally, and of course, I had to catch up for everything. That was like 14th year of my age. I was getting exposed to people for the first time, my classmates. So they were deciding to go and have a cricket match. And I said, and I'm going to draw this as well, so you can actually see what happened. So let's say that we went out for a cricket match. So normally what happens is, when we play cricket matches in the communities, so let's say usually the cricket match, the grounds are circular, but this place was near a neighborhood and it was rectangular. And what they do is they put two people here, and there stand people here, one with a bat. There's another person who stands here, they are the opposite team. Then there is a guy who comes in with a with a with a ball in that person's hand, and they come in and they throw the ball to this guy, and this guy then uses the bat to hit the ball. And if in that process, if the ball crosses these boundaries, then if it runs on the ground and crosses them, it is 4 runs. If it flies over, then it is 6 runs. And while it is traveling, if these guys just keep going back and forth, then every time they go to the other side, it is a run. That is how the game is. So I had never played cricket because came from a broken family, 6 years of age, parents separated, my uncle started raising me. Most of the time we were busy, he was busy trying to earn living, and we used to help him, so didn't have time to go play games. So when the when my class fellow said, "Hey, we should go have a cricket match," and they asked me, they said, "Mubin, you want to go?" I said, "Yes." They said, "So do you know cricket?" I said, "I'm a bowler. I'm a fast bowler." So fast bowlers are a beautiful commodity, just like good batsmen, good fieldsmen. So I said, "I'm a fast bowler." They said, "Awesome. So come with us." Now, as a fast bowler, they didn't have more fast bowlers in their own team, so they gave me the attack. Attack means the very first time somebody who starts bowling is on the attack. So I became the attack bowler. And guess what happened? I had never played cricket like this before. So I came from a very long running session as if I was really a fast bowler. I reached here, jumped like a cricketer as a bowler, and then when the ball, I let it go, instead of the ball going to this place, the ball went this way. And when it went that way, it actually caused a 4 runs because it just crossed the boundary. Now, one bowler is 1 hour is six, or over, 1 over is 6 balls in it. So now I was supposed to do 6 balls, and with every ball, I had no idea how to how to throw ball correctly to the other side. So balls were going all over the places. People were taking runs, and the cricketers here would know what I mean. And they just won in that very first over because they had so many piles of runs because of me. So that was my only time I played cricket. Never after, never before. So that is a funny one. He's looking around because he's expecting me to show him things. because I pick him up and I take him to various places and give him various, I give him tour of the places like this. So he's used to looking around when he's in my hands. Luffy, oh, you want to see what is happening here? And here in the camera? See, he's looking around because he expects to look around. Okay, go. So that was Luffy. Christine says that's a beautiful cat. Yes, a loud and beautiful cat. Bambi says even the test match game, awesome. Yeah, so I never had the opportunity to play before, and then that was the only time I played in the school. Svetlana says my dog is now very alerted. Luffy is more popular than I am. DDS says scooter story. There are so many stories. So I'll tell you stories next time for so I'll tell you a funny story about not scooter but bicycle. And this is so these are all my stupid stories. So check it out. So there was a time when so at least the bicycle models that we have in Pakistan, what happens is, let's say this is a bicycle, right? So here we have a seat, and then we have pedals here, correct? And then we have this rear tire. So these model are something like this. And you would agree that, so I have no idea how to draw this central part, but there is this chain thing and this thing. And so this is something like this that this bike is, this bicycle is. So one time what happened was my bicycle's rear axle here, which runs with this chain, which attaches to this chain, that broke. And so that means I could not actually, um, you know, pedal the bike because this thing was not connecting. And I didn't have enough money in those days to be able to go and get this bicycle tire repaired. So the end result of that was that I had a bicycle which was not pedalable. So I asked a friend of mine, I said, can you help me go to my home? And he said, yeah, but how do I help you? So we were far from home. We were playing on the bicycles. So here is my uh, extra intelligent wisdom. Check this out. So I said, okay, do this. Here is your bike. You ride your bike. So this is his bike. I'll try to make it faster so I don't waste too much of your time. So let's say this is him, right? So he is on his bike, correct? And I am going to sit on my bike. So this is me who's going to be sitting here. And I'm not going to be able to pedal, just hold this little thing. So guess what I told him? I asked him to tie me with a rope with this bicycle. He said, okay. So I said, now that when you would ride your bicycle and go, you would just drag me with you. He said, yeah, sure. Here is the genius part in me. So instead of tying this rope in the center of the bicycle, I tied it to one side of the steering. So imagine if you were looking from up, and this was the bicycle's steering, and this was the center of the bicycle. So instead of tying it here, I tied it on this side. So guess what happened? When he when he started riding, so we both, he started riding his bicycle, I kind of ran behind him, then I sat down on my bicycle and I said, okay, now go. And as soon as he started dragging me, guess what he did? He dragged this part of the handle. So the result was the handle went like this, right? And then there is a tire that went like that as well, correct? And I was sitting somewhere over here. When the tire went like this and the handle went like this, the bicycle just fell. So when this happened, I we had gained momentum. I was running, he was riding, then he jumped on the bicycle and I said, okay, now do it. And as soon as it did that, and the rope went taut and it pulled one side of the handle, I just fell flat on my face. So that was the, I still do not forget how silly that was. Colombian Bean says, more drawing, save your arm, dog, for your next cricket match. Yes, yes, I should do that. Gift says, that's how I look when I'm on a bike. But that was just me trying to depict a bike ride quickly. Gift says, can you strap a turbo on that bike? So this was a bicycle, pedal bike. So, or did I tell you I burnt the bed? So let me tell you one more story. You would like this one. And please, anybody who's listening, don't try it at home. So in our country, we have um, beds, kind of beds you can carry them. For example, we used to have these beds, we'll bring them upstairs on the roof and we would sleep on the roof. um, so these beds would be made like this. They were, and even now um, they're cots, not beds really. So these are cots where there is this patron made up of straw, and then there is a rope that goes like this, and there are these little things. And these used to be this is the stupidest thing I've ever done. I got the most um, yelling because of this as well, and it was really terrible. So here is what happened. So imagine this was the cot, and we had those cot on our roof. And I found out that a friend of mine, he did this. He took a brown bag, the brown bag, normal bags, grocery type bag. He took a brown bag, he put it on the floor upside down, and he burned or set fire to these angles. So when he set fire to them, what happened was, of course, as you can see, um, there was fire on these angles, and there was smoke and hot air that was collecting in the bag. And the bag, this little thing, it went up in the air. And then the hot air started exiting from the side, the bag started burning, and a few minutes later, it fell back. So I really, really loved that idea. I thought, wow, that is awesome. So my uncle who was raising me, I asked him, I said, can I do this bag burning thingy? Can we do this? And he became totally mad and he said, not at all. Don't you even dare do that. You're gonna set fire to something. So don't even try. So the next day he went to his office. He was a chartered accountant and he used to work in a TV station. So he went to his office, and I was dying to try this thing, to have the bag fly off. So what I did was, that is how stupid I am. So I was that stupid, and I still am that way. So I put the bag under this cot here, right? So I put the bag here. The point was that the bag would not rise above the cot, it will not go up, and nobody would see it that I am burning it and I am kind of enjoying the bag flying. So imagine how dumb I have to be to do this and not think what is going to result from there. So now I put the bag in there, I set fire to its corners, and guess what happened? Bag actually did lift up, and when it lift up, above that was this little beds, the cot. So it got stuck to the underneath side of the cot because it could not fly up. So now what happened was it started burning the cot. So a few minutes later, the whole cot was on fire, everything. Now I had no idea what to do. Luckily, the houses in Pakistan or India, they are made up of concrete and bricks, so they are not like wooden, like over here, which would just catch fire and gone. So the cot caught fire. I had no idea. I ran downstairs to uh, my uncle's wife, my auntie, and I said, the cot is burning. So she could not understand, why would cot be cot be burning. So she said, why is the cot burning? I said, you just need to come up, the cot is burning. And she would not get it because it was out of her wild dreams that she would find a cot burning because of what I did. So she ran up and she saw the cot burning. She ran down. She brought buckets of water and started throwing it on the cot. But by the time this whole thing was over, luckily the this thing did not go up and fell in somebody else's home or someplace. But the cot was really done for. So that cot was all dead. It was all burnt and charred, and so then my uncle came in the evening, and I got my share of getting yelled at, stuff like that. So this is what happened. That was a funny one. No, I think now it is funny, but at that time that was totally, I was in trouble. I was quite in trouble for, uh, oh man, I was beaten up. This was not the one where they kind of let me alone and said, don't do this again. I was actually given a good beating. So this is what happened. Truth seeker, truth seeker says, love your stories. Yeah, of course you're hearing how I got beaten up. All those folks who are upset with me, they should come and hear my stories and kind of have cathartic factor that, oh, he used to be getting be beaten up as well. Anna says, don't delete it. Sure, but this is all just these little things. Hmm. So, time warp, fortunately, in those places, I want to show you. Maybe I can see that cart. Fortunately, what happens is that usually we have multiple sets of these carts, one for the roof, and then for, let me see if I can find, you will actually enjoy this. Check this out. In our language, it is called a charpai. So do you see this? This is the cot. So it has this. I want to see a better angle if I can. And in the villages, so we used to live in a city, actually Pakistan's second largest city, one of the, I think, 20, 30 largest in the world. So the cot was very kind of bland. Imagine somebody set fire under this cot and tried to fly a little envelope under it, and that gets stuck to this little thing and just burns it down. In the villages they have these very colorful cots as well. It's a um, it's an art to make these cards and to make these weaving patterns in them and stuff like that. This is the kind of card we used to have. So I survived sleeping on a floor, but I was given a good beating. So I was scared of dark as a little girl. I would open bedroom door and see dark hallway to restroom, and I would stand and go in my doorway. Oh, Rima is here. Hey, Rima. Diversity Love says, please tell me you have a memory foam mattress. Yeah, so I have a sleep number. Kelly says, I can imagine that moment for your auntie needing a moment to process what you. Absolutely. So imagine this has never happened to us throughout the life before, right? And I'm just running down, I'm tiny, maybe 11, 10, 11 years old, running down and saying, the cot is on fire. So she cannot even imagine why would a cot be on fire. It's sitting on the roof, there is no fire there, there is no reason to have fire there. Why would a cot catch fire? So it was, I think she processed it what I said, that the cot caught fire. The, it was the believability factor that was not there. So she would not think that it actually got fire and I did this. And in my wisdom, I thought nobody would see it if I did it under the cot. Cool. So I have a bunch of such stories, all uh, idiotic stories. There was a few days ago I wanted to really, really tell a story, uh, but that story was just so. It was more of a PG rated. Again, nothing bad, but still not something I can just tell like this. But that was a funny story. I'll tell you someday. All right. So how about? And now that we're talking, I also wanted to. Uh, oh wow! John Sanders says tweezers in the electrical circuit and jumping off the roof and burnt a bush or two. Okay, so you see my teeth. These are fake teeth. This is also the result of me doing a naughty thing and falling and breaking my teeth and uh, my lip got separated, my chin got damaged. So that was total being naughty as well. I was quite a naughty boy. So someday I'll tell you more stories. What was I going to say? I forgot. But Truth Seeker says, but you hated when he got well the whole day. So this is as soon as he went to his office, I went upstairs and did my mission. And of course, within next 10-15 minutes, the cot was on fire, and then my auntie was putting out the fire. So in those days, we didn't have cell phones, so we couldn't just call him and say, "Come back and see what happened." So I had to wait till my end of the day, like, all right, and contemplate what's going to happen to me. So the whole day, I was just thinking with this little, um, this kind of a face. The whole day, I just did not know what's going to happen once he comes back. So, or and of course, I think I knew what would happen when he came back. That is what happened. What I thought. So, anyways, that was that. So you have now your bedtime stories, and have a nice weekend. Yes, truth seeker. Somehow you know what would have happened. How do you know? uh, yeah, waiting all day to see, okay, when uncle comes back, I'm going to be beaten up. And I kept trying throughout the day for my auntie to not tell him. But the thing is how could she hide it? Because there was a cot upstairs that was all burnt up, charred up, black. How could you just hide that thing? So it was inevitable. All right. Okay, so thank you very much, Joy Fisher. And if you wanted to hear more stories, support this work, there are links in the description to support it. And please like, subscribe, and share. I would see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, and I'll tell you more stories someday. Bambi says, what mattress do you have? So now I have a sleep number. So something that I can control the. So when my arms or my legs become a little um, different as it was, I can adjust. It was my older son. When he started his job, he bought me his sleep number. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. Love you and all. Don't chuckle too much about my stories, and I would see you on Monday. Yes, that is correct. Like a burnt marshmallow. Yes, it was a very big burnt marshmallow. So I had no way to escaping that.